All right, good afternoon. How's everyone doing? Woo! Last pitch of the day, you're almost there. The coveted last spot. Thank you, Jared. Good afternoon. My name is Lauren Hierl, and I'm the Executive Director of Vermont Conservation Voters, and I'm here today on behalf of 25 partner organizations. And we believe that we need to hold our state government accountable to achieving our climate commitments by ensuring they are working to implement the solutions needed to drive down our carbon pollution. So I'm here today to pitch a Global Warming Solutions Act. And we've heard a lot today about how here in Vermont, we've been longtime leaders in the fight against global warming. We pulled this picture out. It looks like it might have been from last week, but it was actually back from 2006 when there was the march from Middlebury to Burlington. And at the time, that was the largest climate rally in the world. And so we've been at this a long time. We've been innovators and have really put forward a lot of creative, great ideas from Vermont. We've also had a lot of consistent and clear support of our shared climate goals. A lot of us stood shoulder to shoulder on the shores of Lake Champlain to say we're still in to meet the Paris climate targets. We all stood up earlier today to say we support our climate targets. But as we've also seen today, our emissions are rising. So we know that goals and rhetorical support are not enough. So we believe we must align state government around reducing greenhouse gas pollution in order to put in place the strategic focus and accountability needed to change this trajectory. As Greta Thunberg recently put it, some other words, but I want a concrete plan, not just nice words. And did you all see that look she gave Trump? Like, I don't want to cross Greta. I think we don't want to let Greta down. We don't want to let our kids down. So we're proposing the Global Warming Solutions Act as the fundamental accountability framework that we currently lack. So the concept is simple. We set meaningful targets in statute with short, medium, and long-term pollution reduction requirements. We include a mechanism to hold our feet to the fire, making state government accountable to achieving them. This type of commitment will not just make it possible, but inevitable that the good ideas on how best to transform our electric, heating, and transportation sectors are acted on and implemented. We can also build in components about how to manage our iconic farms and forests in ways that build off these assets and help us achieve a net zero carbon future. The Global Warming Solutions Act would establish a legally enforceable mechanism to hold state government accountable if we fail to meet our commitments. But the idea is to set a pathway for success by creating strong structures and processes for focusing state government around climate action and then empowering them to harness the innovation and participation of the private sector, a lot of you here, to develop and implement the solutions needed to meet our commitments. With legally required ongoing strategic assessments by our state government of how to equitably, fairly, and cost-effectively spur this transition, we can stop having nice words and start having concrete plans and actions. We believe this policy will work well for Vermont, and we think some of the success stories from here in Vermont and around the region really demonstrate why. First of all, we can learn from other states who have already implemented similar laws, including Massachusetts, where they enacted a Global Warming Solutions Act way back in 2008. Their commitments were upheld through the court system, and now they are doing the work and putting in place the policies and investment that they need to meet their targets. So you can see in the graph that their emissions are going down, and they're actually on track to meet their commitments, unlike Vermont. I'd also point to the success in Vermont's electric sector. That's been aided by some great political and utility leadership, but an essential underpinning was the strong state policies from Creating Efficiency Vermont, net metering, and the Renewable Energy Standard. We've heard that there's some more work to do there, but when we set out clear expectations in policy, Vermonters have stepped up and met the challenge. We all know we're struggling for similar transformation in the heating and transportation sectors, and I believe an important missing piece is an accountability framework that establishes clear targets and requires that we have clear plans to meet them. Additionally, within just the past few months, New York and Maine have now leapt ahead of Vermont in putting ambitious climate pollution commitments into statute. In New York in particular, they established robust processes and structures for state government to develop specific plans and incorporate important considerations like equity. We're now becoming an outlier in the region by not having this kind of legal framework in place. And we can also be doing this work alongside these other states who will also be doing the same kind of work. So we know we have no more time to waste. We need to ensure the action we're taking is commensurate with the challenge. The Global Warming Solutions Act is a framework under which everything we've been talking about today fits. This policy ensures we're holding ourselves accountable to driving down greenhouse gas pollution and strategically assessing and implementing the solutions that are essential to meeting our climate targets. We've seen strong rhetoric, good intentions, and hard work around climate action are simply not enough on their own to transform our state into a low carbon economy. We know from experience, clear and mandatory policies work to drive real change. By holding state government accountable and ensuring it's strategically aligned around achieving our shared climate commitments. Enacting the Global Warming Solution Act says we're committed, we're serious, and we are willing to hold ourselves accountable. That's why we hope you will support enacting a Global Warming Solutions Act in 2020. Thank you.